Hey, 2KSBQR. And what happened in my last shakedown? Well, it was running. The rear turrets would not traverse to the right, but they traversed to the left. And it didn't look good. I just had a bad feeling, and sure enough, I heard this loud pop. What happened is, I guess I should have brought this out. What happened was, illustration time, boys and girls. Ah. What happened was that when the turrets tried to traverse and could not reach the maximum traverse to the right, it added stress to this gear. This gear literally broke apart. And of course, this retainer cap right here, which connects to this bell crank pivot ring, popped off. So something was causing stress to these two linkages. So I went and checked every single link, made sure it turned freely. So I thought, found out the problem, and it was my own doing. I did not bother as you remember last video, this broke apart and I had to glue it together and reinforce it with wood to get its strength back. Well, I didn't bother to take the wood dowel and sand it low enough or test it to see if it jammed anything when moving, which that was the case. That's why my rear turrets would not traverse to the right. It would hit that wood dowel on this bar, this push rod, and it tried desperately to traverse the turrets, but that wood dowel blocked it, and that caused stress throughout the model to that linkage. Also, I found out right here that these two areas, these shafts, this shaft for Anton and this shaft for Bruno, naturally were wobbly. There's really no support. It just flimsily goes up and down and weakens these shafts, which jams this push rod because these are not stable. Even though I put a dowel on this push rod here to strengthen that, I didn't consider these barbets. So I reinforced them with wood. I then, with fingers, of course, manually, tested the system, and I had support, which made this go very smoothly. So if I had that pressure in the back, putting pressure on this, trying to force this, and these things are flimsy and they're wobbly and they're trying to take the stress, something's going to give. And that was my fault. I think I got it solved. This is the worry. I'm doctoring up this gear. They call it a horn. Right now it's drying. I'm applying reinforcing plastic, gluing it with model glue, leaving it alone and let it cure. Slow process to give it back its shape. I'm then going to reinforce it with copper sheet around here, along its circumference here on the sides, kind of like a belt. I'm then going to put plate in front, super glued into that square end of the gear when I insert it. It's going to take a little while. I've got another option if that doesn't work, and I dread this. I've got two options actually. One is to take a perfectly sealed model that I've got as a collection. I'll widen that up a little bit. Perfectly sealed, unopened, preserved, just to take out one little part. I don't want to do that, but believe me, I was tempted. The other option is to buy another used kit that's already opened on eBay just for one little part. I'm trying to go the easiest way by just simply refabricating and recreating this shoehorn here. Now let me show you the work on the deck that I did. Start with A and B turrets. Hopefully that's focused. As you can see, I reinforced this shaft for B turret and A turret with wood and super glue, and now these are no longer flimsy. I can take this push rod and move it, and it's smooth. Also, the turrets traverse, back and forth correctly. Now let's go to X and Y turret, Caesar and Dora. If it'll focus. Will you focus? Yeah, I know. Yep, sure is. I'm trying. I think it focused just now. That wood dowel right here was blocking this link in this push rod. Sanded the heck out of it, and it now moves freely. Should have got a lot of shadow there. Let's see what I can do. Much better. Much better. Okay, so the assembly is this little fella. Very slow process. If I can just get it up to strength, give it time to cure. I'll cut that off. That's sticking out. I wanted to use the same plastic that was in the kit because of the chemical makeup, and they would adapt to each other better. So that's what I'm doing. And of course, this fits right here. And there's really not much to show here, just basically the area that I'm going to be working in. For this part of the bell crank, where this pin pivots and goes into here, I'm going to drill through the rod, insert steel pin vise bit in there, put the cap in and shave off what's sticking out, and maybe that'll reinforce it and prevent it from popping off. Anyway, it looks good on paper. Okay, that's the update of the shakedown. Wish me luck. Keep modeling.